Hello, everyone. Nick Bolton is firing up Chiefs Kingdom. The energy is real. Nick Bolton has reignited the spark in Kansas City, and the entire Chiefs Kingdom is feeling the momentum. His leadership, intensity, and playmaking ability are setting the tone. And right now, everyone's locked in and ready to run through a wall. The locker room is buzzing. The fans are hyped in the city, counting down the seconds until kickoff. Bolton is more than just a linebacker. He's the heartbeat of the defense, and this year he's coming with one mission. Bring another ring to Casey. Is this the year the Chiefs run it back? If you're ready to ride with Nick Bolton and the Chiefs all the way to the top. Y'all aren't ready for what's about to drop? Former Chiefs wideout just unleashed a truth bomb about their quarterback that will shatter your entire perception of Kansas City's offense. This revelation, it rewrites the narrative. Stick around till the end. Drop a W if you still believe in the Chiefs, or an L if you've lost faith. Smash that subscribe button, because what I'm about to uncover will reshape the way you view the DNA of champions. Football fanatics, listen closely. What I'm about to reveal cuts to the core of what separates the elite from the average, what defines greatness in the NFL. This isn't just another locker room story. This is a window into the soul of a dynasty. Now, I've been around this league long enough to tell you, even raw talent alone doesn't crown champions. We've all seen gifted athletes flame out faster than a firecracker. But once in a while, you witness something different, something that doesn't just look elite. It feels generational. And today, that's exactly what we're diving into. The Chiefs Kingdom has been on a roll, and for good reason. What they've constructed in Kansas City is more than just a football team. It's a blueprint for sustained excellence. It's culture. It's cohesion. It's players who recognize greatness when they see it and rise to meet it. But sometimes the clearest reflections come from those who've already left. They speak with honesty, hindsight, and sharp clarity. That's exactly what happened when a former Chiefs receiver opened up about a moment in practice that redefined his entire perspective. This isn't your run-of-the-mill teamwork makes the dream work cliche. This is that split-second moment when a player realizes, I'm not just catching passes, I'm witnessing greatness in motion. It's that awe-inspiring realization when you know the man throwing the ball isn't just another quarterback, he's a once-in-a-generation talent. That's the moment when you understand the difference between good, great, and legendary. What fans see on Sundays, like the touchdowns, the trophies, the ESPN highlights, only tell part of the story. The real magic happens during the silent grind. The early morning walkthroughs, the intense film sessions, the practices where champions are forged in the shadows. So many players coast through prep, saving their energy for Sunday. That's the chasm between competitive and championship caliber. Because in Kansas City, excellence isn't optional. It's a daily expectation. Greatness isn't flipped on like a switch. It's hardwired into the system. What makes this story even more impactful is the source. A wide receiver who's played across multiple systems, caught balls from multiple QBs, and still looks back at Kansas City as something special, something sacred. The synergy between quarterback and receiver is sacred, a dance of precision, trust, and timing. Many chase it for years without success, but elite quarterbacks, they create it, they demand it. They refuse to settle for anything less than excellence. That's the culture in Kansas City. Every throw, every route, every sideline conversation. Every rep is a building block and a structure designed for dominance. And when your quarterback sets the bar, the entire team rises with him. This is why Kansas City doesn't rebuild, they reload. New players don't dilute the standard. They adapt to it. The expectation isn't adjusted for rookies. It's explained to them. This is how we operate. This is what winning looks like. And the result, a system that outlasts roster turnover, that thrives regardless of who's on the field, that transforms raw recruits into pros and pros into legends. But here's the real takeaway. When players leave an organization and still speak about it with reverence, that speaks volumes. It means what they experienced wasn't just success. It was transformation. Culture altering, career defining, the ripple effect. Young players arrive already elevated. Veterans step up or step out. Coaches can install systems knowing the quarterback will execute at the highest level. This is how dynasties aren't just built. They're sustained. Kansas City's quarterback doesn't just perform under pressure. He creates it for everyone else to rise. He sets a temperature that ignites an entire locker room. When the standard at practice is higher than most players' game day intensity, you've got a dynasty in motion. In most NFL organizations, excellence is encouraged. But in Kansas City, it's demanded. The Chiefs have cultivated a culture where greatness isn't optional. It's the expectation. And when you lay that kind of foundation, when you attract players who recognize and respect that level of commitment, you build a loyalty that goes far deeper than contracts or paychecks. The story we're unraveling today. It's about far more than a single throw or a highlight play. It's about a culture, a relentless pursuit of excellence that defines what championship caliber football truly looks like. See, greatness isn't born under stadium lights. It's forged in obscurity in those silent reps, early morning drills, and after hours film sessions where no one's watching. And what one former Chiefs receiver revealed is a perfect embodiment of that truth. Let me take you there. Let me walk you through the exact moment that transformed everything for Kadarius Toney, a player who had bounced around the league, struggled for footing, and yet in Kansas City discovered something he'd never encountered before. Another seemingly ordinary day at the Chiefs facility. Players running routes, coaches shouting commands, the usual symphony of organized NFL chaos. But then it happened to throw a pass that didn't just break expectations. So it shattered the laws of quarterbacking. The Toney stood frozen. Man threw some kind of jump pass, he said. I don't even know what kind of pass it was. It was crazy. I wish I had it on film. I'm just thinking, he's different. I've never seen anyone do that. It wasn't even like playing in a video game. Let that sink in. This wasn't a game-winning touchdown. This wasn't a Sunday night miracle. This was a random Tuesday at practice, and yet it stopped a seasoned receiver cold. Why? Because it wasn't just about the mechanics of a single throw. It was a window into greatness. It was about realizing that you're not just playing alongside a quarterback. You're witnessing a generational talent, a rare breed who transcends the position and redefines what's possible. To understand the impact of that moment, you have to understand Toney's journey. Drafted by the Giants, thrown into a system still trying to find its identity, paired with quarterbacks still developing their own rhythm, he knew what average felt like. He knew what ordinary looked like. But Kansas City showed him what precision felt like, what real anticipation looked like, what it meant to be on the receiving end of a throw that didn't just reach the target, but hit it with surgical timing and unstoppable placement.
That's what separates franchise players from generational quarterbacks.
That's what separates teams from dynasties. And it wasn't just one throw. It wasn't a fluke. It was every day. It was a culture of consistency, a system where elite wasn't celebrated. It was expected. And the bond, that quarterback receiver chemistry that often takes years to build, it started from day one. Here's how Toney described it. Our chemistry started when I first got there. We were just talking a lot, running around doing drills. It came naturally. The coaches emphasized it. You need to be ready right now. So we were, and it clicked. This tells you everything about how elite operate. They don't wait for chemistry to evolve by chance. They engineer it. They carve out opportunities for connection. They foster trust through intentional design. They build synchronicity. So when game day comes, it looks effortless because it wasn't accidental. In his 2 seasons with the Chiefs, Kadarius Toney appeared in 20 regular season games, racked up 340 receiving yards, and found the end zone 3 times, the only touchdowns of his NFL career. To some, those stats might seem modest, but that's missing the point. Those numbers represent strategic success within a high-performance system. They're a product of intelligent usage, role clarity, and an understanding that true impact isn't always measured in yards. It's measured in moments, in purpose, in precision, in being the right piece in the right place at the right time, because that's what championship teams do. They don't force players to fit outdated molds. They elevate talent by maximizing individual strengths within a collective mission. For Toney, Kansas City wasn't just another stop in his career. It was a revelation, a crash course in what elite football truly feels like. And when a former player walks away from a team with that kind of reverence, that's not just respect, that's legacy. That meant becoming a dependable weapon, a receiver capable of making high-pressure catches in pivotal moments. Not every contribution earns a place on the highlight reel, but in a championship system, impact is measured by reliability, not just... And that right there is the line between contenders and champions. Anyone can assemble talent. Anyone can draft athletes or sign big names, but only a handful of organizations know how to cultivate an ecosystem where that talent is maximized, where chemistry isn't a coincidence and it's engineered, where every player knows their assignment and commits to it with surgical precision. The Chiefs, they've mastered this philosophy. They've created a standard of excellence where players like Kadarius Toney step into the system and immediately grasp the gravity of their role. A culture where the quarterback's intensity, preparation, and execution sets the tone for everyone else and elevates the entire roster by default. When excellence becomes the baseline, not the exception, longevity becomes attainable. Dynasties aren't built on hype. They're built on habit. So what does this mean for the future of the Kansas City Chiefs? It means another wave of hungry young wideouts, Like rookie Jalen Royals are about to get a firsthand education in what it truly means to line up next to greatness. They'll learn what it takes to function within a system that demands elite execution on every route, every snap, every rep. What makes this machine so powerful is its self-sustaining nature. New players step into the locker room and feel the weight of the legacy immediately. The work ethic, the attention to detail, the obsession with precision. They either rise to meet that standard or find themselves replaced. That's why the Chiefs can reload instead of rebuild. It's not about simply acquiring skill. It's about attracting the kind of players who can handle the pressure, thrive in structure, and contribute to something far greater than personal stats. And nowhere is this more crucial than in the quarterback-receiver relationship. That's where timing and trust become everything. When you're catching passes from a quarterback who routinely delivers the unthinkable, who throws into windows that seem physically impossible, you're forced to evolve. You prepare differently. You think faster. You react sharper. That's what Toney experienced. He found himself making plays he never imagined possible in previous systems. Because greatness isn't just contagious, it's transformative. It stretches your limits and reveals a version of yourself you didn't know existed. That's the magic of elite quarterbacking within a championship infrastructure. It creates opportunities that transcend limitations, and it leaves a permanent imprint on every player who enters the orbit. And it doesn't stop there. When players witness that level of commitment, they feel compelled to match it. When coaches see that accountability ripple through the roster, they can implement more intricate strategies and trust their execution. When the front office sees this culture converting effort into victory, they double down and invest in pieces that can perpetuate success. This is how championship windows don't just stay open. They become wide gates to dynastic dominance. Most franchises peak. They enjoy a few golden years before talent disperses, cap space tightens, or chemistry erodes. But when you're rooted in daily excellence, when your system can seamlessly absorb fresh talent and maintain output, you're no longer fighting to stay on top. You are the mountain everyone else is trying to climb. The Chiefs are living proof. They've weathered roster turnover, cap complications, and the growing pressure of being the NFL's gold standard. And yet, they've never stopped contending. Why? Because greatness isn't tied to one player, it's embedded in the organizational DNA. And now, as the pressure rises yet again, as expectations soar and the margin for error narrows, this culture becomes even more vital. Because when you've already lived the grind, when you've tasted the standard, when you've trained at a championship level, you're built for the weight that others crumble under. Chiefs Kingdom, now it's your turn to speak up. What did you think about Kadarius Toney's revelation? Does it give you new insight into what makes Kansas City's culture truly elite? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your voice is what makes this community special. If this breakdown gave you a deeper understanding of what separates legends from the rest, smash that like button. Your support fuels these detailed deep dives and tells me you want more raw, behind-the-scenes insight into what drives NFL greatness. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because this season, we're breaking down every storyline, every shift, and every spark that defines this championship journey. We're not just covering a team, we're documenting a dynasty in real time. Shedeur Sanders has Cleveland fired up. The hype is real. Shedeur Sanders has brought a new spark to the Cleveland Browns, and the energy is off the charts. From players to coaches to fans, everyone is fired up and counting down the days until kickoff. The city feels alive. The locker room is locked in, and the dog pound louder than ever. Shedeur's confidence, talent, and leadership have already made a huge impact. And the Browns truly believe something special is about to happen this season. Could this be the year Cleveland finally takes it all the way? Drop if you're ready for the Shedeur Sanders era to begin.